Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. In our readings we are asking today, in fact we're going to ask your higher self, how will your current difficulty or conflict resolve? We're seeing a lot of challenge, a lot of difficulty in the world at the moment, both personally and also globally. So this is our question. How will your current difficulty or conflict resolve? And we are asking your higher self for advice and guidance. We are drawing 3 cards. Now I'm seeing this, and also this one. So those are our 3 cards to kind of guide you in, I guess, and we'll draw a rune and a charm as well. So for pile number 1 we have the Lover and the Beloved. This is pile 1 and it's card number 35. For pile 2 we have From Nothing to Everything, and this is card number 16. And then for pile number 3 we have Victory of Miriam, and this is card number 41. Okay, now we're going to draw a rune and a charm for each as well. Okay, pile 1, your rune is the rune of the Spiritual Warrior, and you have a beautiful spider charm too. That is magnificent. So this is for pile 1. Pile 2, you have the rune of Harvest, and you have a frog. Wow, stunning, stunning rune and charm. So the rune of Harvest and a frog. And pile 3, you have the rune of Ice, and you also have a whale's tail. How interesting. Oops, my apologies. Literally the whale as it rises, the tail as it rises out of the water. How beautiful. So the whale's tail and the rune of Isa, ice. Okay, so beautiful souls, welcome. Welcome everyone, welcome anyone new, and welcome back to those of you who are already part of this amazing community that we're building. Beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running just a few moments longer for anyone that would like a little bit of extra time. And the timestamps, as always, are in the description box and also in a pinned comment as well for phone users to access, because that's sometimes easier. And of course, as always, trust your intuition. Now, if you've got more than one area of challenge or difficulty going on in your world, I would suggest trying to focus on one thing at a time and just see where you are taken. See which of the readings, the cards, the runes, the charms are speaking to you. Beautiful souls, tons of love, and I'll see you in a moment in the readings. Hey, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So how will your current difficulty or conflict or situation resolve? Your first card, the Lover and the Beloved, is actually about letting something in, allowing yourself to receive love, to be supported. Whether this is literally to be supported by the divine or to be supported by another person, it's all about allowing yourself to have that love, that regard, that I'm trying to think, it's like it's bigger than just saying love. Now the Spiritual Warrior is an interesting rune to draw with this card, because this is a rune of discernment. Has an energy of cutting away the old. So I am wondering, I feel like your situation needs to be resolved, needs to be able to grow through you allowing yourself to receive love, support in some way. Let's draw your oracle cards and see what we are shown. My beautiful pile one. How will your current scenario, situation, conflict, difficulty resolve? We are asking your higher self actually to advise in this manner actually. So may your higher self please advise as to, how interesting, I saw a card almost fly out and then go back. So I'm diving in there. And that one too. I'm going to draw one more oracle card and then I think we'll dive into the Akashic records as well. Now we are asking your higher self. So we have great abundance, thunder above, fire below. This is card 55. We have nettle, action. Now this is Mars and Pluto. Can you see up here we have Mars and Pluto? Then we have self-worth and renewal. I wonder if that might go there. And then we have gossip, the card of gossip. The light attributes awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honouring trust. Shadow attributes thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay. Let me move these along because I think we can get these in for you, pile one. What I feel I'm being shown here by your higher self is what has caused you to not feel able to receive, to stop you from receiving love, to stop you from being able to embrace all that you actually deserve in terms of love, support, care, regard. If anything, I think you may have become quite not an overgiver as such, because I think in some ways you have become so discerning. I think because you have been hurt by gossip, drama, people who've treated you badly, toxicity, and in a particularly underhanded way, I think you have become so discerning that your doors are closed and you're not letting people in. And of course, when we learn to defend ourselves, what happens is that we sort of, yes, we keep out the bad guys, but we kind of keep out some of the good guys as well. And I feel like there is a need to break this open. Thunder above, fire below. It's like igniting your passion with action as well, and renewal. And we have a snake of transformation here. What I feel I'm really being shown, and your higher self is really honouring you. This is what I feel. You're really being honoured here. Your higher self is saying you are worthy of receiving. It's time for renewal. It's time for you to take action and not be fearful of being seen. I almost feel like some of you went underground, and what's happening, your higher self, I think, is really showing us what's happening now is you've become so defended. You had to go underground, that it means you can't be seen and you're not allowing yourself to receive. And so there's a current difficulty or conflict around you. Perhaps there is even a potential lover or a connection to something you really desire, something you really want to grow and build, but somehow you're not allowing yourself to be available to receive that, to have that. And this needs to transform. This is how your difficulty is going to resolve. It's about being seen. It's about your self-worth, honouring yourself. I'm going to get this book here, Thunder Above, Fire Below. This This is a beautiful pack of cards. It's the Visionary Eye Ching cards. I'm just going to look this up. So this is 55 because I am not familiar with these. I will be honest, and it's quite a new pack to me. And I've always, if I've used the I Ching, I've always looked it up rather than kind of, you know, become really familiar with it. Great abundance, thunder above, fire below. Abundance comes into full flower when a group is unified and the power of its leadership is at its peak. This is like the sun at midday, a high noon of clarity, insight, and progress. Whether this refers to a national cycle, a business boon, or a period of personal abundance, peak periods can be brief, so it is important to bale your hay while the sun is shining. During a period of abundance, it is skillful to show benevolence and to share the fruits of one's good fortune. Think of good deeds now as a hedge against scarcity in the future. This reading bodes well for the raising of children and the nurturing of a healthy family or any close-knit group. What I feel here is there's actually something around you that indeed this may actually be the conflict. You may actually be questioning, is someone genuine, for example, if there is somebody potentially in your world, someone around you, a potential lover, a potential beloved, a potential connection, or even the entering into a new group of friends, a community group. But I think you are hesitant and reticent because you've become so discerning, because you're so fearful of what happened before, that it's closing you down. So the conflict that you may be facing, or the difficulty, it feels to me as if it's about trust, and the trust is being rooted in self-worth, really. You know, even the card of nettle is very, very interesting, because nettles sting if you touch them. So in a way, people could be guarded. You know, you don't want to touch a nettle if it's going to sting you. On the other hand, there are healing properties. Nettles actually stimulate a kind of swelling which assists in certain problems. Rheumatoid or arthritis and various other things are assisted. Nettles have a lot of healing qualities. What's fascinating, do you know, in Norse myth, nettles are associated with the thunder god. And we have thunder above. So something is needing to be transformed, transmuted. Something whereby maybe you have literally been stung. You've been stung badly and it's caused you to retract. But now something that could be healing, perhaps a new connection, a new relationship, an opportunity to meet somebody in a different way or go out into the world and be connected. Somehow you're reticent because you don't want to be stung again. But Mars is about action. Pluto is about rebirth. There's a lot of praise for you coming through here, my beautiful pile one, from your higher self, saying you are really, really worthy of receiving. An adjustment needs to be made here. Maybe ask your higher self for more information. Maybe how can you go about this? Because this seems to be placing kind of an emphasis, I want to say, back in like the ball being put in your court to allow something to move forwards. How interesting. So we've got caught in the ruins. Now it's actually come out in reverse. We have the One of Scrolls on track. This is in reverse. We then have the Akashic Field, One of Forces, also in reverse. And then we have the Six of Roses, the War of the Roses. Okay. What I'm seeing with the Six of Roses, because this is a card of conflict, really in relationship, I think, or there is a conflict around you. And because it's in an upright position, it feels like it's at a stalemate. Now, on the one hand, Caught in the Ruins is a card that says, even though you may be feeling hemmed in or trapped, you are completely at liberty to get out of this if you wish. On track, whatever this conflict is, I think it has stopped you in your tracks, literally. It stopped you. Maybe there's been a resurgence. This card, the War of the Roses, it's a historic period. I think something historical, a historical conflict has come back up in your world at a time when you were just beginning to really start to open up. It's like something's come back to you, or back in your world, or raised its head, or maybe even a current circumstance has reminded you, or pressed your buttons, reminded you of a past experience where you were stung, you were hurt, where there was a conflict. I think this is a reference point to the past, but I think the past has somehow appeared in the present in one way, shape or form for you, my beautiful pile one. And we'll draw some clarifying cards around this. Your reading is suggesting that you are ready to climb out of that problem, but I can see that it's sort of stopped you in your tracks. It's knocked you off balance. So the current conflict has either come in from the past, literally a past situation that's revived itself, or it was something that I think you thought you had laid to rest. Now, either it's come back in that manner, or it is a button press, just when you thought you'd laid it to rest. At the time of my doing these readings, it is eclipse season. And eclipse season has a flavour, energetically, the energy around eclipse season, of almost showing us aspects of the past within our present circumstances and our present times, in order to then actually work out what to do in the here and now to move this forwards and to change the future. Let's draw more tarot cards and really just look at a bit of clarification, really. How do you get back on track? What are you meant to do? What advice is your higher self giving you? The card on the base of the pack is actually coming out as I've put it down, so I'm going to bring that up. So we have the King of Wands. Okay. Right. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Seven of Cups. And then the Five of Swords. Okay. I think you're being asked here not to overthink this. I feel like this could have spiraled you into, literally that snakes and ladders. You know, when literally, just when you think you're on the winning streak, if you're playing snakes and ladders, you've just got to that final ladder, or you climbed up the tallest ladder, and you were like inches away from the finish line, and then you got the biggest snake ever, and it took you all the way back down again. And I feel that's got that flavour here. I think truly something arrived that caused you to really look back. With these dogs, it may be that somebody triggered something to do with loyalty, a conflict around loyalty, and it's really spun you backwards. That gossip, people who gossip and talk behind people's backs. It's really interesting. I always think people who talk behind other people's backs, if they have a valid point, by not being open about it, they remove the opportunity for it. I mean, if somebody had actually done something wrong, it removes the opportunity for that person to be able to apologise and put it right. So it's complete disempowerment. If they haven't done anything wrong, then the gossip and the drama and the story can be made up and be made as elaborate as you like and create so much damage and so much harm. I really feel that there is a past conflict that has either literally come back into your world, or your buttons have been pressed and it's thrown you into that space where you are really, you felt quite knocked off track, literally. Now, your reading is advising, your higher self is really validating this, and also validating the need not to overthink this with the Five of Swords here. Okay. Yes, it's heartbreaking when people behave. It's almost like if you were bullied at school, for example, targeted behind your back, and then suddenly you discover that somebody in your current world has been doing the same, or you suddenly, I don't know, something that's connected you to your past. I'm not going to go too much into that because I think you'll know what it is, my beautiful pile one, if this is the right reading for you. I do feel it's caused you to question loyalty, but there's also something around you that's really good coming in. You've got this phenomenal card of the lover and the beloved. You've got thunder above, fire below. You have nettle, action. You have self-worth. You have renewal. I sort of feel like it's like I've got the above layer and the below layer. Thunder above, fire below. This is history, and yes, it's present in your world, but there's also something of complete renewal in your world. And I think what's happening is that you're sort of caught between, kind of like you feel like you're caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Part of the difficulty and the conflict here is actually taking a chance and believing that you actually can, that history will not repeat itself. There's always good and bad. You can be discerning. You're empowered. You're wise now. You've experienced stuff that was kind of shit, basically. Excuse my language. But you've developed discernment. The moment somebody behaves badly, you'll know it, and you can make those choices. It feels like it's time to really get back up and say, do you know what? It's like climb back into the chair, as it were. Put yourself back on the, what's that saying, where you climb back on the horse, as it were. It's got that feel about it. I'm going to draw more cards around this because I feel your higher self is saying, take charge with the King of Wands. You know, yes, there's some looking back, but just recognize you can learn from this. You know, don't let this get you down and don't overthink it. This is a very empowering reading in terms of what you yourself can do. You know, don't spiral down those ladders. What else have we shown? May we have, please, from your higher self, clear guidance as to maybe steps forward or more information, perhaps, about how this could proceed. I just feel there's something going on around you that has potential. Almost as if you're not allowing yourself to believe in it. May we have more information. Okay. So we have the King of Swords. We have the Wheel, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, okay, this is lovely. So, oh, and we have the Page of Cups. I didn't see we had an additional card. Well, how delightful. Right, okay, let's move these all along and make a bit more space. So, here are your cards, my beautiful pile one. Right, how exciting. This is a kind of a moment where you're going to need, your higher self is saying, this is a time when it would be really, really important for your mind to be very, very much in charge and very clear and very focused. Because your emotions will sometimes get the better of you. You know, if something presses a button and you're feeling insecure, there's a big difference, you know, between emotions that are responding to a current situation versus emotions that are actually a reminder of history, that they're different. Okay, emotions in the here and now. I mean, emotions are meant to be present in the here and now. They're giving us loads of information. But sometimes the emotions we feel are much more to do with history than they are to do with now. So, really get your mind, not the repetitive thinking pattern mind, because that's not thinking, that's just, you know, like replaying an old recording in our head. This is like, get your mind to be really clear. Really notice with the owl here when something is, you know, just playing out really. The wheel can turn here. We have two pages, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. I think you have the capacity to transform this conflict this situation through sort of creating a division between the past and the present, and acknowledging and honouring that the burdens of the past can be left behind. Can you see this 10 of Wands? She is walking away from something. She's packed up her bags and she's on her way. And look at the dreams here. The pigs might fly, Page of Cups, and these two hands coming together. I genuinely think your higher self is saying to you, this is a time to trust and move forwards into the new, and any difficulties or conflicts that arise, recognize them for what they are. Don't necessarily see any difficulty as a potential crisis that's going to be jumping on that snake and take you all the way back to square one, really. Don't overthink this. This feels a very practical kind of reading, very practical advice. Yeah, if your mind starts to wander, bring it back in. Rein it back in a little bit. Be, I think, with very clear thinking and an awful lot of acknowledgement of your value and your self-worth, knowing that it is absolutely time to allow yourself to receive. I think something very magical can transform and arrive in your world in terms of your connection in relationship. Whether that is an intimate relationship with the Page of Cups, or whether it is, you know, a connection of going back out and begin. It's like learning to trust again. Learning to trust, and on the basis that you can make choices and decisions at any time. You don't have to be fearful that if you try something out, you're stuck with it and it's all going to go wrong. I feel there's catastrophizing that could go on here. Your higher self is really, really clear. It's time to take a risk. Time to get out there. Time to get back on the horse. Time to have fun. Go out there. There's an energy of something around you. I think it probably is the conflict that's arising from an opportunity to have something is triggering something of the past. Allow yourself to believe, my beautiful pile one, because the core of the conflict, really, I'm not saying something hasn't come back into your world, but the core of the conflict here energetically is to do with your own self-worth and your own self-value, actually. And your reading and your higher self are suggesting that this can be shifted with a different perspective. I'm going to draw you one more card, an Archangel Michael card, and then we will conclude your reading. That's your card. Decide to be happy now. Well, there we are. Thank you for helping me. This is the prayer. Thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, joy and bliss. I am now willing to see all the goodness in my life. Wow, what an affirmation. Pile one, this feels actually incredibly joyous. It's like, yes, there's tons of conflict around. Yes, there's lots of anxiety about so many things, but truly, truly, something really heavenly can come to you, but you've got to let it in. Beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons and tons of love to you. Super souls, depending on when you are catching this reading, if you're catching it as I am uploading it, I have literally just uploaded yesterday a moon month update looking at the incoming energy. I've drawn sort of cards and runes for every single zodiac sign, really looking at a key message for the next month as we move from October into November. And my big all zodiac sign readings are also now on Patreon, so do check those out if you would like to. Patreon is a different platform. It works on the basis of donations. You can give as little or as much as you want, and you can tune into those readings and the tutorials. I do tutorials over there as well. You can sign up, sign out. There's no commitment whatsoever. Beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons of love to you, pile one. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. You have the rune of harvest, Jira, and you have the card from nothing to everything and a frog. This card is all about letting go in order to receive, releasing something in order to then have something new. And with the rune of the harvest, I mean, this is suggesting that something is coming to you that is bigger and better than anything you could have dreamed of, but something has to be let go of. The frogs are also about cleansing. They're about release. Now, I'm not going to say anything else much, I think, until we have drawn more cards, but I feel like the resolution in some way to your conflict or difficulty sits with almost like this sense of surrender, letting go of something that you thought you wanted or desired, or if something is going wrong, it's not meant to be. There's going to be something, a bigger harvest coming in from somewhere else. Let's draw tons of oracle cards and see what we are shown. I'm seeing this card for you. What else are we shown for my beautiful pile too? What is your higher self going to advise, give us information about in terms of your current difficulty or conflict? I'm seeing this. Let's look at these first, and then we're going to get out the Akashic Tarot. So you have the card Retreat, Sky Above, Mountain Below. You have the card Poppy, Dream. Okay. You have Quest and Gossip. How interesting. Okay, Gossip came out in pile 1. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to influence it, but if you were drawn to both, there could be a reference point, but it was a different card. Then you have Femme Fatale, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow attributes, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. Okay. I feel as though you are literally having to let go of a dream. Something you actually wanted or desired. It's kind of come apart. It could even literally be a perception. You know, the card of Gossip in many ways, you know, gossip is generally never true. You know, people who gossip or make up stories. It was funny, we talked about this in pile 1, but people who make up stories behind people's backs, it's never true. It's never real. Otherwise, you know, why wouldn't you have an open, honest, transparent conversation? So there's something that it's like seeing through the illusion of something, especially with Poppy, the dream card, and we have Neptune here and Saturn. Saturn brings us some pretty tough life lessons, and Neptune as an energy, it can give us real spiritual awareness, spiritual awakening. But sometimes the energy of Neptune can cause us to idealize something or create a kind of a perspective that isn't necessarily completely focused or real. I'm wondering if you have idealized a dream and your conflict really, or difficulties around something that isn't what you thought it was going to be, perhaps. But there is definitely a release of something, a letting go in order to then gain from nothing to everything. Let's draw from the Akashic Tarot. To be fair, this is a very different reading to pile 1, but if you were drawn to both, it may be relevant. Okay, so I'm seeing this card. Curiously enough, I'm seeing that one in the middle. But also I feel this on the base of the pack too. Okay, we've got the Lookout. Okay. I feel like literally we're seeing the bridge of a ship, burning bridges is what's coming through that saying, burn your bridges, add some. This is about arriving at a new perspective. This is what I'm really hearing. Your higher self is saying you need to change your perspective on something. Something, your difficulty, your conflict sits around, I feel like maybe the wool was pulled over your eyes, something, there's been a harsh lesson here within this conflict. Some real difficulty or discord where your perspective on something has been distorted, something's been turned upside down. even with the King of Scrolls in reverse and the iridescent moon in reverse. My beautiful pile 2, everything in your reading for me is really suggesting there is a need to see something differently. The conflict that you're facing, the difficulty here. I feel something has not been presented, even in the add some card. Can you see there's these sort of shadowy figures here, as if this angel is trying to whisper in this person's ear, trying to voice something, trying to tell you something, like literally your angels, your guides, trying to tell you something. Now you're in a phase of what I would call decrease, as in something that maybe you thought would move forwards. You're beginning to see that it either won't work. It could be with the King of Scrolls in a reverse position. Somebody hasn't been, it's often a male figure, hasn't been completely honest. This is about communication. Maybe somebody's been made out to be something they're not. And the solution, I think your higher self is saying here, the solution to your difficulty or conflict is to sort of retreat, really, and to retreat and almost like regroup yourself. Go forth on a quest and a mission to actually ascertain what is real and what isn't. Let's read from this book here, because I am not necessarily familiar with the detailed messages from these cards. So this is card 33. Okay, so retreat. All worthy goals meet some resistance. When negative forces predominate, a well-timed retreat can be a good move for keeping your energy up and allowing you to persevere. Strategic retreat is not to be confused with escape or surrender. Nevertheless, a well-timed retreat may require quick and nimble movement in order to take up a new position before you are damaged by a current threat. You are not admitting defeat by such action, but increasing your options by preserving your energy and other resources. Sometimes it is necessary to slow down, let go, or move back to a better position yourself for future moves, or to draw an opponent closer. Timing is critical, as is positioning and considerations of personal security. Skillful retreat is truly a sign of intelligence and strength. Periods of withdrawal or retreat call for a cool-headedness, so keep your wits about you. Attend to details whilst allowing enough time to contemplate the big picture. Be creative in your solutions. Remember, not all progress follows a straight line. Maintaining a sense of self-confidence is essential, as small setbacks can easily become defeats if we are mired in self-doubt or self-pity. A confident retreat can produce success. Waves of progress are short-lived. Strive to attune yourself to the ups and down cycles of life. If you want something, allow it to come to you. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you can fix any situation whenever you feel like it. Some things are bigger than you. Hold your pride in check, and you will be better prepared to discover creative openings when they arise. Whatever your personal difficulty or current conflict is about, I do feel there has been some perhaps dishonesty, or something hasn't been presented appropriately. Maybe somebody has made someone out to be something they're not. Everything in your reading is suggesting that your guides and your angels are, I think there's been real conflict. Bridges are burned here, sort of, as it were. Your angels and your guides are definitely trying to assist you and guide you. Your higher self is saying, look, this is a time to retreat and step away from something, because you need to see something clearly for what it is in order to proceed. So be thoughtful in your manner of retreat here, stepping away. May we have information from your higher self to assist you as to how this might emerge, resolve. We know there's a retreat, a stepping away, seeing something for what it is. Okay, so we've got some lovely cards here. We have the Wheel. We have the Two of Cups, partnership coming in. I feel like there'll be a helping hand coming in. The King of Swords, and we have an owl here, so I think things can be seen more clearly here. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Magician. Right. What I feel I want to say here is that you are not without agency in this situation, my beautiful souls. Pile 2, you may be feeling a bit confused or wondering what on earth has really been going on, but you are not without agency. You can actually move something forwards. I think you can shift away from a space of, there's a sense of aloneness here in this. I really feel I'm getting this message from the Five of Cups here, that sense of aloneness. I think there's opportunity to reflect on this, to kind of see where it went wrong, as it were. And on the basis of reflection, also seek some help. Because I do feel for the wheel to turn, which it can do, for the wheel to turn, I do actually think action will be needed. But sort of, I think you need to seek some advice here with the Two of Cups. I think you're needing to seek some advice to review what this is really about. Step away from it. You know, move away from it, review it very, very carefully, look at the scenarios, look at the information, really take some time to ponder this situation. There should be no rush to proceed with this. This is what your higher self is saying. Even though there is a difficulty, there is a conflict, the way to handle this, your higher self is saying, is actually to step away from it, to get clear-headed. And even though that might feel there's an element of sadness, a sense of isolation in stepping away, it's the way to kind of sow new seeds, to see what you can personally do to move this forwards, how you can transform the situation. It is transformable, that's absolutely for sure, but it's almost like stages, step by step by step. You know, something has to be let go of. You have to remove yourself from something first in order to then be able to see it clearly and move forwards with clarity. Let's seek further advice from your higher self, my beautiful pile 2. May we have further advice as to how to then move this forwards. So we have the Two of Swords. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Death card. We have the Five of Wands. May we have one more card, please. One more card, please. There it is. For my beautiful pile 2. Yes. Look at this. Yes. This is what we're seeing here. This lovely yes. Okay, you're going to be able to climb out of this conflict. You are definitely going to climb out of this. Everything in this reading is saying, and your higher self is saying, look, as soon as you remove your blindfold, as it were, and actually see things, I mean, the first step is to retreat and really properly look at what's actually been going on and get some help. Talk to somebody about this, because I think someone objective will be able to give you, especially with the King of Swords, someone who will hold an objective viewpoint, really assess and evaluate what you have been shown. You're going to be perhaps feeling a little bit separate from something, but you know, I think that's going to feel quite healthy, that retreat. Once you remove the blindfold, you'll know what action to take. The Death and Rebirth card, magical. You'll be able to see the way forwards. Can you see this point? It's like a point of power. There's empowerment here. You'll be able to climb out of this conflict. And the Queen of Wands is a real card of solid success, personal empowerment for the best possible reasons. I'm seeing this sort of like spark of light here, and then again in the Death card, another spark of light, and she's holding it in the palm of her hand. So I think that with reflection, this is how to resolve, I guess, your current difficulty or conflict, a retreat is required. A really looking at absolutely everything through crystal clear glasses, as it were, seeking some objective advice and support from somebody to assist you in almost like analysing the information properly, removing that blindfold so you really see clearly, and from that you will gain this point of empowerment. You'll be able to see what you need to do exactly. Even in this death and rebirth card, we see this cloak here, but you know, within the cloak there lies the answer, the future, the way forwards. You will be able to climb out of this quite significantly. I don't think it will be as difficult as you think it will be. Very interesting reading, because it feels as though there's a lot of energy around helping you to fix the problem, rather than somehow being given a solution, which is interesting, because sometimes the reading will actually say you don't have to do anything, sit back, spirit's taking care of it. It really does say you will be given the answer. It's curious, because part of me wants to draw more cards. On the other hand, I feel like in the uniqueness of your situation, with the cleansing of the frog energy, that something has to be sort of released, a perspective, a perception, and you need to see through the illusion of something in order to then properly see what the solution is. And I think it will be unique to you each. What I will do is draw a couple more cards, or at least another card from the Archangel Michael pack, to get a kind of a sneaky peek into the future, really. May we have information. Be gentle with yourself. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I think, speak and do. Help me know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience lasting inner peace. Okay, and we have one more card. It's, oh gosh, look, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. This is the retreat from something. Something's not right, and I think you know it. But yeah, you're going to need to step away in order to process it. This is a very clear card. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. And finally, sneaky peek to the future. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. You are going to be able to take action. You just need to see it clearly to do so. We're not being given any further answers, only the fact that there's such an affirmation that something needs to be let go of, and that you can move forwards with clarity once you see the situation as it is. So I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me the courage and strength. Well, beautiful, beautiful cards, and such a gentle affirmation. Beautiful pile too. Letting go of something is hard, isn't it? Sometimes big life lessons, but your reading is very clear. I am sending you all the love in the world, beautiful souls. Yeah, keep us posted in the comments. It would be lovely to know how you get on as you move forwards. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community that we are building. You guys are truly inspirational. My apologies if I don't manage to reply to all of your comments. I reply to as many as I can, and sometimes I'm a little slow in responding, but I do read your comments. Your support of one another is amazing. You are so inspirational. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. And if you are brand new to me and my readings and to this community, check us out. It's lovely to have you here, and do consider subscribing. And thank you all who do, and liking and subscribing and sharing and all the things you do. Beautiful souls, I have just posted a big moon month update. If you're watching this as I've put it up here on YouTube, The moon month update will give you a real indication of the incoming energy for the coming month, and I've also drawn a very specific message, a key message for the coming month for every single zodiac sign, and my main readings are also available now on Patreon too for all zodiac signs. So beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons of love. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we're asking your higher self about your current difficulty or conflict and how will it be resolved. What this card actually does assure you of wholeheartedly is success. The victory of Marianne just says that whatever is taking place that is a challenge or a difficulty, whether you choose to believe it or not, success is coming. Success is inevitable. So with the rune of ice, it feels as though for me something around you is stuck or at a standstill, or you're feeling like it's not going to go anywhere, or that it can't be resolved, but it can. And with this whale's tail, you know, when whales dive deep and you see the incredible tail above the water, I just feel there's a sense of, I just want to say, destiny about this. Do you know what's really coming through as a sort of a channeled message is that whales follow the song lines of the earth. Yeah, I feel that this song will have to be sung, or because it should be, and in all its glory. How interesting. Has someone been stopping you from singing your song? Is there some sort of stuckness around you? Let's just draw a ton of oracle cards and see what we're shown. My beautiful pile 3. What is your higher self going to reveal to you? Beyond the fact that genuinely I think success is inevitable. Oh, the card at the base of the pack remained. I'm going to go with it. I feel that that was there. It was kind of like left there, waiting to be seen. Almost as though something is waiting to be seen. Let's just listen to that as part of your message. What are we being shown here? What is your higher self saying? My beautiful pile 3s. May we have more information, please? Here we go. Right, let's look at your oracle cards first. Right, we have following, lake above, thunder below. Okay, so that is your first card. Then we have rosemary, ancient memory. How interesting, when I was really tuning into the song lines of the earth with the whale. We have the sun and Mercury. Rosemary is an extraordinary herb. We can use it for cutting cords. She has a wand here with a crystal point on it, which could be used for cutting cords. Following, we have victim. How interesting, and perfection. Ah, right, your reading is becoming clearer, my beautiful pile 3s. Let me get everything into our view for you. And then we have child wounded. So the light attributes awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. The shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Let's place that over here. Pile 3, I think that your conflict is actually going to resolve itself. So what is really interesting, and we will draw a lot more cards. What your higher self, I think, is talking to you about today is that whatever your difficulty or conflict, it's actually tapped into some really significant childhood wounds, which means that you are experiencing the conflict, I think, in a very intense emotional way. There's a lot of assurances here, and success is being acknowledged. It's as if something has to sort of work its way through. I do wonder if some of you, the conflict has caused you to feel quite helpless, quite childlike, quite, victimized, literally, and triggered some aspect within you where you've gone into the zone of self-doubt, which we do. If you've had a tough childhood, then, if you think about from a child's perspective, if most children, if there is a conflict, let's say there's a conflict in the family. So, for example, if in a family parents divorce, a child will frequently think it must be their fault. And of course, it had nothing to do with them at all. It's just that they grew apart or whatever was the issue. But because children are viewing the world in quite a singular way, as they should, because that's how childhood should be, they take on a greater place of responsibility for what is happening. And I feel like this reading has that flavour to it. Something has happened, there is a conflict or a difficulty around you. You're actually going to see success, freedom, it's all here. It's going to be transformed. We'll read this card in a moment because I'm not familiar with this pack. But actually, even with following, I feel like you're following a pattern whereby you sort of assume you are the one that caused the problem and you got it wrong, and almost as if you sort of like slightly deserve this, that there's I think you know that you don't. But with perfection, even these fruits, it's reminding me of, eating of Adam and Eve and eating the fruit and sort of something being tarnished or going wrong. I feel as if you have been left really blaming yourself, as if you feel you got it wrong, and I don't feel you did. I really, really feel you did not get it wrong. So we're going to get a lot more information for you. Let's read this book first of all. So we are card 17. Right. Following. Lake above, thunder below. Choosing to follow good influences brings supreme success. You may not be able to change the direction of the wind, but frequently, by adjusting your sails, you can arrive at your destination with a joy that inspires others to follow you. Those who wish to acquire a following must speak the language of their followers. Those who wish to be loved must become the imagined lover of their beloved. Those who wish to prosper must bend with the pressures of the world. In matters of principle, stand firm. In matters of style and taste, swim with the current. If guile or self-aggrandizement enters the equation, resistance will be what follows. Focus on the common good in order to remain unharmed. In the affairs of humanity, change is constant. Old ideas are discarded in favour of new ones. A great leader can emerge only by being adaptable to the demands of the times. Similarly, only by adjusting to changing circumstances can one prosper in the world of commerce. Remain flexible and you will gain the confidence of those around you. Bend and you will not break. Balance activity with some relaxation to serve the situation well and to maintain a state of healthy energy, minimizing both internal and external resistance to your goals. I feel whatever the conflict around you is, it's actually processing anyway. It's almost, again, how adaptable can you be? Are you seeing it through the lens of the past? I feel like childhood wounds are activated here. Let's draw from the Akashic Tarot. How interesting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, I think, here. Yes, those are your cards. What do we have for my beautiful pile 3s? 7 of Scrolls, Intricacies and Industry. We have the Waterfall, Setting Your Course. Oh, this is fab. Honestly, my beautiful souls, talk about an affirmation. Whatever the difficulty or the conflict that you are experiencing. Maybe you think something is just never going to happen, but it is. The outcome you desire is coming. 5 of Keys, wishes fulfilled. I mean, this is abundance in every way. Setting your course. My beautiful souls, your higher self is really, really clear. Whatever, I don't know, pitfalls arrive in your world, whatever the problem, whatever the conflict, whatever obstacles appear to be around you, can you see these stepping stones through here as well? Just take this step by step. The opening is coming, the waterfall, the movement is something's going to gather momentum. And it's going to get you to that position of success, irrespective of what your conflict, your difficulty is. Success is coming. It could not be more assured. It really, really could not. What you really just need to do is to kind of almost like reset your mindset into that space of positivity, of being absolutely certain that the outcome you desire will come, the result, the success, whatever this is. Move beyond any aspect of woundedness that says it's not going to happen. And then sort of, I just want to say, crack on with life, really. Move it forward, set your course and keep going. I really do. I sort of feel this is almost like a put it down and don't be hindered by it. May we have more information from your higher self regarding this. I almost feel like your reading is here to sort of to lighten the load and shift you back on track, to shift a gear, to say just, you know, pick things up and keep going, don't stop. Everything's moving in the direction that it's meant to. It feels like such an affirmation, your reading. Such an affirmation of success. It's almost as though you could enjoy the journey, or you could make it harder by being fearful that it won't work. And what do we have? We have the 8 of Wands. This is about taking action. Fast moving, focused action. Staying on track. Set your course and then take action. 2 of Cups. Oh, look at this. 2 of Cups. We have 10 of Cups. We have Ace of Cups. Well, again, what an affirmation. What an affirmation. Pile 3, this is stunning. Whatever insecurities have been tapped into, beautiful souls, put them to one side. Your higher self is saying to you, you know, you are going to get this, the thing that you desire is coming, the outcome that you desire, whatever this conflict is. Remove any aspect of self-doubt and then persevere, keep going, take action. Don't hesitate. It just is. It's like this has success written all over it. Pile 3, this is a stunning reading. I mean, it really, really is. Let's get a final card from Archangel Michael. Shield yourself. Ah, this is bringing a little bit more information. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe. Name specific people or situations. This is the wounded child. You're very sensitive. You're very sensitive to energy, to the point where even though the outcome that's coming is absolutely assured, you're incredibly anxious that it's not going to work out for you. But it is. Yeah, believe and trust. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage and confidence. How beautiful. And finally, yeah, guarded and protected. You're really anxious. How fascinating. I'm really seeing that childhood wounds have been activated. You're really, really anxious. You're on high alert regarding a situation, a difficulty or a conflict. And yet everything in your reading is assuring you of complete success. How interesting that Archangel Michael is really saying, look, you're very sensitive, but you're guarded and you're protected. Just believe and trust. This is not a situation that has been sent to cause you a problem. It's a situation that has been sent to resolve something that has tapped into childhood wounds. It's felt very, very big. I'm really getting the feel of the bigness of this. May we have one more card regarding potential outcome or potential, well, I think we have the outcome here, but any more information for pile 3. Right, pay attention to your dreams. Now we have this. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage and confidence. And then pay attention to your dreams. I think Archangel Michael will come into your dreams to reassure you. Thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me to enjoy a wonderfully restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher, my guide and my healer. Please allow me to understand and describe the situation on a spiritual level and give me guidance. I can see that whatever is going on around you, you really have felt very stuck in it, almost perhaps either trapped or hemmed in, or like it's at a stalemate, like you can't move it forwards, and yet it's going to move forwards with the best possible successful victory outcome. And you are being protected. What I hear is it's like it is an intense scenario. It's an intense situation. You could not get a better affirmation. Within the intensity, it's also tapped into some childhood stuff where you are really, really questioning whether you created it, whether it won't work out because as a child you were genuinely powerless and helpless to do things. But actually, this is an absolute, complete and utter affirmation that this will work out. Yes, you are vulnerable in yourself, but this is totally the best and coolest outcome ever. My beautiful pile 3, thank you so much for joining me. I am sending you the biggest hug ever. If this is resonating, do like, share, subscribe, and beautiful souls, I mean, it really couldn't be a better outcome for you, truly. I have, if you are watching this as I've uploaded this reading, I have just uploaded a moon month energy update, which might actually interest you because the astrological stuff at the moment is quite intense and we are in eclipses as I'm doing this reading. And so the incoming energy of the moon, it's quite, well, sometimes it's quite intense. Sometimes it suggests that we move forwards. At other times we just take a breather. If you are interested in learning to manifest with the moon, you just might find it really helpful because the moon brings us such an emotional element to our kind of lives and our energy. You might find it helpful. And I have also drawn individual cards and runes for every single zodiac sign to get an absolutely key message for the month as well. And my bigger all zodiac sign readings are also now available on Patreon. So beautiful souls, do check those out if that is of any interest to you. Pile 3, this is the coolest outcome ever.